goal is to carry out basic operations such as addition, subtraction, and multiplication. If you haven't watched the video, which was introducing polynomials, it will be linked down in the description. So without any further ado, let's get started. So adding and subtracting polynomials depends on combining the like terms. A like term is basically the term with the same variable and the exponent as another, but the coefficient of the term can be different. So for example, you can have x squared plus 4x squared, and then you just need to add the coefficients of the term, which over here is 1 and 4, which will give you a sum of 5x squared. And so they have the same exponent but different coefficients. So if we look at a problem in which you're trying to add two different polynomials, it would go like this. So for example, we have x cubed plus 3x. So that's our first polynomial, plus 9x cubed plus 2x plus y. So in this case, we have two sets of like terms. So the first one is the x cubed, and the second one is 3x and 2x. For the y, we can just take it out because we can't really do anything to it, so you'll just have the y like so. And then you have x cubed. So it's better to, while trying to add two different polynomials, it's better to put the like terms together to ensure that you don't make any mistakes. So you'd say it would be x cubed plus 9x cubed plus 3x plus 2x plus y, and then you just need to add the coefficients of the terms together. So in this case, it would be 1x cubed plus 9x cubed, which will give you 10x cubed. And then you have to add 3 plus 2, which will give you 5x plus y, and that will be the simplified version of the problem they asked you for. So let's look at another example with subtraction. So subtraction and addition work the same way. So you kind of need to subtract the like terms from each other. So in this example, we say we have 4x cubed, x to the power 4 plus 3y squared plus 6y minus 2x to the power 4 plus 2y squared plus y. So in this case, just open the bracket and it'll be 4x to the power 4 plus 3y squared plus 6y. And now to open the second bracket, you just need to distribute the negative sign to all the terms here. Now because all the terms within the bracket are positive, which means once you open the bracket, all terms will be negative. And what I mean by that is then it will just become negative 2x to the power 4 negative 2y squared and negative y. Then you need to rearrange all the terms together, all the like terms together. So it would be 4x to the power 4 minus 2 x to the power of 4 plus 3y squared minus 2y squared plus 6y minus y. And then just simplify, so that will be 2x to the power, 2x to the power of 4 plus y squared plus 5y. And because that's how much you, and because that's the point you can simplify it up to, that will be your final answer. So now it's going to look at multiplying polynomial expressions. So to multiply polynomial expressions, you need to use the distributive property of multiplication. So what that means that you basically need to multiply every term in the first polynomial by every term in the second one. So for example, you have 4x times 2x squared plus y. So in this case, you'd have to distribute the 4x to the 2x squared and to the y. So that would look a little bit like this. So you'd have, 4 times 2, which is 8. And then if you know how to multiply with exponents, it will be x. So to the power of 2 plus 1 plus 4xy. And then the final answer would just be 8x cubed plus 4xy. So we can look at another example for multiplying polynomial expressions. So look a little bit like this. So for example, we have 2y cubed plus 3x then you have times 5x squared plus 2x. Now to make it a little easier, you can write it out like so. So you'd have 2y cubed times 5x squared plus 2x. And then you look at the operation in this bracket, which is addition. So you'd write plus 3x times 5x squared plus 2x. And then you just have to expand and open up the bracket. So that will be, you need to multiply this term with this term first. So that will be 2 times 5, which is 10. And because the variables differ, so you can just write them as x squared y cubed. It's always better to write the variables in alphabetical order, so that's why x goes before y. And then the same with the next term in this bracket, which is 2x. So that would just be 2 times 2, 4. That would be 4xy cubed. So 4xy cubed plus, and then you need to open up this part of the expression. So then it would be 3x times 5x squared. So first you multiply the coefficients, which is 3 and 5, which gives you 15. Then you need to add the exponents. So by that I mean just x, because that's 1 over there, then it would just be 1 plus 2. And then the same for the next term, which is the 2x. So that would just be 2 times 3, which is 6. And then you need to add the exponents of the variable. So that would just be 6 times x 1 plus 1. And that will just give you the final answer of 2x squared y cubed plus 4x y cubed plus 15 x cubed plus 6 x squared. So that would just be your final answer. Now, so there could be more complicated questions, but the process is the same. So you just have to use the distributive property in order to solve questions related to multiplication. So now we're going to look at division of polynomial expressions. So in order to divide polynomial expressions, you can use two different methods. One is long division and the other is synthetic division. So first we're going to be looking at long division, and then we move on to the synthetic division. So let's look at an easier problem to begin with. So for example, you have x squared minus 3x minus 10 over x plus 2. Now in order to divide this, so this would be the divisor and this would be the dividend. So it will be written as x plus 2, and inside you'd write x squared minus 3x minus 10. So now the goal is to basically divide the first term in the dividend, so which is the x squared, by the first term in the divisor, which is x, and put the results in the line above here. So then to get x squared, you'd have to multiply x plus 2 by x. So then you'd write that as x on top. Then multiply each of the terms of the divisor by x. So that would mean you'd have minus x squared plus 2x. So now you distribute the negative to both the terms inside, which means that the x squared would cancel out, and that would become negative 2x, and negative 3x plus negative 2x would give you negative 5x. And then you bring down the negative 10, and then you find a way to get 5x, so I'm sorry, negative 5x minus 10 by multiplying a number with x plus 2. So because the first term is multiplied by negative 5, we'll try negative 5. So you need to put the negative 5 here to get x minus 5, and then multiply minus 5 with x and then 2. So that'll give you negative 5x minus 10. Now, like the step before, you need to also distribute the negative sign to both negative 5x and negative 10. That would give you positive 5x, canceling these terms out, and positive 10, and that would also cancel these two and give you a remainder of 0. So the final answer to this question would be x minus 5. You can also do this by factorizing the dividend. So that would mean that you do x squared minus 5x minus 2x minus 10 over x plus 2. This is another way of just doing the same problem if you find it easier to do it this way. And then you'd have x So then you take that x out, so that gives you x minus 5. And then, sorry, that will be a plus. And then you take the 2 out, so plus 2 x minus 5 over x plus 2. And that would give you x plus 2 x plus 5 over x plus 2. And now if you can see, you can just cancel out these two terms, leaving you with x plus 5, which was the same, sorry, x minus 5, which is the same answer that you get by doing the long division. Now you can also do this another way, which is synthetic division. So in that case, you take the divisor, which is x plus 2, and equate it to 0. Then you take the negative 2, take the 2 to the other side, giving you a value of x equals negative 2. And then what you have to do is you need to make a sort of box like so, and then you need to take the coefficients of your dividend, which is x squared minus 3x minus 10. So that means that you'd have 1, then you take the minus 3, which is the coefficient of the x term, and then minus 10. Then you put the minus 2 over here, you take the 1 down. Then what you need to do is that you need to multiply the negative 2 by the 1. So that gives you negative 2 here. So you multiply that with that. And then you put this value here. And then you need to subtract negative 2 from negative 3, which gives you negative 5. Do the same thing here. You need to multiply the negative 2 with negative 5. That gives you positive 10, and then just put the 10 here. And negative 10 plus 10 gives you a remainder of 0. That means your term would be, so 1x minus 5, that means it's just x minus 5 is your final answer, which is the quotient. For synthetic division, you need to make sure that the dividend is fully factorized. Sorry, the divisor is fully factorized, and that in the that you put all the coefficients of the divisor. So for example, you'd have 4x cubed plus 5, say, over x minus 2. Now in this case, you'd again equate the divisor to 0, so that would give you x minus 2 equals 0, and then your x would be 2. So you make that box again, and then you have 2 on the left-hand side. And when you're putting in the coefficients on the right-hand side, you need to make sure that you put all of them. Now what I mean by that is you need to put the coefficient of x cubed, x squared, x, and the constant term. And now as you can see that the dividend doesn't actually have a value for x squared and x, so that means you just need to assume that it's 0. So it would just be 4, 0, 0, 5. And so then you take that down, and that would be 4. Then you multiply 2 times 2 with 4, so that will give you 8. Then you take the 8 down. Then you multiply 2 and 8, and that will give you 16. You take the 16 down. And then you multiply the 2 with the 16 to get 32, and that will give you 37. So then, and it's okay to have a remainder. Sometimes there will be questions that will give you a remainder because it's not fully, it's the divisor is not a factor of the dividend. So then you would write your answer as x minus 2, and that will be 4x squared plus 8x plus 16, and then you have the factor of 37. Remainder of 37. That would just be like so. So this is just basically how you carry out basic operations with polynomial expressions. And so in the next video, we're going to be looking at the sum and product rule, which will be useful for more. So this is basically how you carry out basic operations such as addition and subtraction. And in the next video, we'll be looking at the sum and product rule. So thanks for watching.